MPMs. This is it. MPM event 1. Here are the relics as promised. I'll be starting with, is that it? Let me check. Those are all I owned, yes. That is a Vauban blueprint sits on that one. Neo V2 starting. Then Neo V5 Vauban Neuroptics. Then Neo S7 Silver Aegis Prime Guard. Then Neo M2 Mesa Systems. Neo T2 Tekka Prime Blade. Then we go into Lit S8 Stradivar Prime Blueprint. Then we go into Neo A2 Bolter Prime Receiver. Then we go into Lit C4 Chroma Prime Neuroptics. Then we go into Neo S8 Pure Prime Pouch. Then we go into Lit D1 Death Cube Prime Blueprint. Then we're gonna go into the Wukong Prime Blueprint. Ooh, that's bolted. Got quite a few of those. That's the Lit W2, by the way. Then we go into Neo Z2. That's the Zephyr Prime Blueprint. Then we go into the Neo I2, which is the Ivara chassis. Then we go into the Gram Prime handle, which is the Neo G1. Then we're going down to the Tigris Prime. That is very old, that relic. T1. Tigris been Prime a long time. Neo C1 Chroma Systems. Then we go into Neo S6 Silver Aegis Guard. We're going to the Neo Z5 Zooj Prime Blueprint, Neo R2 Rubico Prime Blueprint, Banshee Prime Chassis sits on the Neo B2. A lot of relics. And we're going to the Neo M1, which has Mirage Blueprint. And we're going to Jagara Prime Barrel on the Neo A3. Necro Systems. How many of those do I have? 82. Okay. Then we got the Namiskala Prime Blade on the Neo N8. Then we got the Corinth Prime Stock on the Meso C6. Then we got the Neo N6 with Nikana Prime Hilt. That's a good one. And then we got the Curse Prime Blade on the Meso K3, followed by the Zooch Prime Barrel on the Neo Z7. Meso P2 Panthera Prime Receiver. And then we got the Neo E2 with the Equinox Prime Systems. And we keep going to the Neo Z3 with the Zooj Prime Barrel. Lit M5, Mesa Prime Neuroptics. Silver Aegis Prime Guard again on the Neo S9. Then the Neza Prime Chassis on the Neo N13. Lit M4 has the Mesa Neuroptics again. There's a good chance Mesa will come up. Then we got the Titania Prime Systems. Then we got on the Lit T4, that's Titania Systems. Then we got the I1 Mesa Inaros Prime Neuroptics. 58 of those. Well, I'll be there. We got the Kogake Prime Gauntlet. That's been vaulted a while on the Neo K1. Neo V3, we got the Vauban Neuroptics again. Vauban's been vaulted a while. We got the Death Cube Cerebrum again on the Neo D2. Lit P5 as Pangolin. What's it? Pangolin Prime Blueprint. Neo S14. Stradivar Prime Blueprint. Ninkondai Prime Handle on the Lit N4. Neo Z6. Zooj Barrel. And the Mesa B4 Baza Prime Blueprint. We're moving on to the Mesa N10. Which is the Ninkondai Prime Handle. Redeemer Prime Handle sits on the Neo R4. Neo Z4 Zephyr Prime Blueprint. Mesa C4 Chroma Systems. Wait a minute, didn't I say that right? I don't know. Neo S11 Stradivar Prime Blueprint. And the Mesa D4 Death Cube Prime Cerebrum again. Neo H1 Hydroid Prime Systems. Well. We got the Grand Prime Handle on the G2 and Neo G2, and the Lit A3 as the Jagara Prime Barrel. Lit C6 Corinth Prime Stock. And then we got the Lit K2 Kogake Prime Gauntlet. Banshee Prime Systems on the Neo B5. Neo M3 Mesa Prime Systems. Neo A4 Axtileta Prime Blueprint. We vaulted a while as well. Ballistica Prime Blueprint sits on the Lit B6. Meso E4 Equinox Systems. Mesa T1 Tiburon Prime barrel. Tiburon Prime stock sits on the Mesa T3. Mesa N9 Ninkondai Prime handle. Neo S12 Stradivar Prime blueprint. Neo B6 Banshee Prime chassis. Mesa D3 the Destraza Prime blade. Mesa E2 Equinox systems. Mesa R1 Rubico blueprint. Banshee Prime systems again on the Neo B4. We got Neo P1 and the Pangolin Prime rather blueprint. We got the Lit D3 Dead Cube Prime blueprint. Lit P2 Piranha Prime blueprint. Mirage Prime blueprint. Mesa M3 and the Neo N10 with the Namiskala Prime blade. Namiskala has come up. Oh, okay. We got the Neo V7 Volkir Prime chassis. Did I get so many of those? Then we got the Lit N6 Nessa Prime Neuroptics, Lit P4 Pantera Prime barrel, Kogake Prime gauntlets come up again on the Meso K1, Mesa N7 Ninkongai Prime handle, Neo K2 the Kogake again Prime gauntlet, is it? Yep, quite a few of those. Titania Prime system sits on the Neo T3. Neo V6 is the Vauban Prime chassis. Hold on a minute. That's rare? Okay. Baza Prime blueprint sits on the Lit B7, and then we got the Meso H1 with the Helios Prime cerebrum. Meso P4 Pantera Prime barrel. Ninkondai Prime handle sits on the Lit N5 again. Meso Z3 Zephyr Prime systems. Yep. And the Neo P2 is the Pandero Prime receiver. Lit B8 Baza Prime blueprint. And we go into the Meso C5 Corinth Prime barrel. Axis C6. Is this the first Axis? Yes. Corinth Prime barrel. Yep. And then the Axis. Oh, this is Radiant. I got 23 Radiant. Woo! Wukong blueprint there on the Radiant. 23 of those. Lovely. And we got the Axis Z1 Zatki Prime blueprint. Lit the W2 Radiant. 23 of those. Wukong blueprint again. Wow, so what's that? 46 Radiant blueprint for the Wukong. That's gotta bring up something. And we got the Neo B7 Baza Prime stock, Axie A13 Axamante Prime link, Axie T6 Deco Prime blade, Atlas. Then we got Ivara Prime chassis on the Lit I1, Lit M7 Mirage blueprint, Meso D6 Dead Cube cerebrum, Euphona Prime receiver sits on the Meso E5. And on the Neo Z1, we got the Zephyr Prime blueprint again, Lit the D4 Death Cube blueprint, and the Axamati Prime link again on the Axie A10. Axie B3, we got Baza Prime stock, Corinth Prime barrel on the Axie C5, and we got Piranha Prime blueprint. Okay, that's an interesting one on the Axie P2. Mesos G2 as the, what's this? Guada, what's this? Guando, I think it's Guanda Prime handle. And then on the Mesa O1 we got Oberon Neuroptics. Ooh, that's been vaulted a while. Mesa T4 Tenora Prime receiver, Ninkondai Prime handle on the Neo N14. Neo R3, we got the Redeemer Prime handle, and we got 20 Neo T4 Radiant Tenora Prime receiver. Why so many? Then we got the Requiem. Ignore the Requiems. Ignore the Requiems. Ignore the Requiems. Link K5, Kogake Prime Gauntlet, Mesa G1, Gatlin Prime Blueprint, Galatine rather, Prime Blueprint. That's been vaulted a long time. Limbo Prime Chassis, 19 of those on the Neo L1s. Neo N15, Neza Prime Neuroptics, Axie D1, Destreza Prime. Is that the blueprint? Axie D1, Blade. Then we got the Axie R3 Redeemer Prime handle, Lit T1 Tigris Prime blueprint, Axie 05 Octavia Prime blue. I should have some Radiant of those somewhere. Axie R2 is the Redeemer Prime handle, Axie T2 Tipeda Prime handle. And then as we scroll on, we got the Axie W2, which is the Wukong Prime blueprint, Helios Prime cerebrum on the Lit H2. Lith N3 Necros Prime Blueprint. Okay, so we got 2 Necros. Lovely. Lith O1 over on Neuroptics again, and the Lith S7 Siberius Prime. Then we got the Meso N5 with the Necros Prime Systems. Meso R3 Rubica Prime Blueprint again. Axie B4 with the Baza Prime Blueprint. Oberon Prime Systems again on the Axie O4. Axie P3 Piranha Prime Blueprint. Axie T4 Beta Prime Handle. Lit L2 Limbo Prime Neuroptics. Good Limbo. Tenora Prime Barrel sits on the T5 for Lit. Meso E3 Equinox Systems again. Atlas Prime Neuroptics on the Axie A6. And then we got Lit G3 with Quado Prime Handle again. L3 Limbo Prime Chassis. And Lit S7 Spears Prime Barrel. These are all Radiants, okay. Meso A2 the Agbolta Prime Receiver. Neo T4 Tenora Prime Receiver. Then we got the Neo V4 Venka Prime. Oh, the Venka Prime Gauntlet even. Axie H5 will be the Helios Prime Cerebrum, and the Axie O5, there they are. More Radiance, Octava Prime Blueprint. Lit S6 is the Spira Prime Pouch. That's an interesting one. Over Prime Neuroptics again on the Meso O2. Then we got the Neo H2 Hydroid Prime Systems. Neo I1 is the Ivar Prime Chassis. Axie T3 is the Tapeta Prime Handle. Meso D2, the Destreza Prime Blade. Neo A1, Stiletto Prime Blueprint. Axie C4 Chroma Prime Systems Blueprint. The Axie N6 receiving the Kana Prime Health, so that's good to get. Stoma Prime Stock, and the Axie S7. Then we go to the Lit G4 with, what's that? Guada Prime Handle again. Lit M3, Meso Prime Neuroptics, Lit S5, Spira Prime Blade. Meso S8 is the Siberius Prime Barrel. Meso S9 is the Spira Prime Pouch. Neo O1 is the Odonata Prime Wings. That's an interesting one. Neo S5 is the Sicarus Prime. No, that's been. Oh, that's worth something. Here's the beauty. Sarin Prime Chassis. It's a shame to run these done. They're not Radiant, but we'll Radiant what we can and run them. Axie A1 Atlas Prime Neuroptics. Axie G4 Gram Prime Handle. Axie H4 Hydroid Prime Systems. Lit C2 is Cernos Prime Lower Limb. Very hard drop. Another Cernos Prime Lower Limb with a Lit C5. Lit S4 Sarin Prime Blueprint. And Lit T1 Tigris Prime Blueprint. We got a few Radiants of those. Nice. Then we got the Meso L1 coming up with some more Limbo Chassis. We got Meso S6 with Spira Prime Blade. That's a good one. More Radiant. Zephyr Prime Systems. Radiant there. Axie E2 Euphona Prime Receiver. Gram Prime Handle on the Axie G5. Single figures these ones now. So we got the Lit S10 with Stradivar Prime Blueprint. Lit T7 with the Titania Prime Systems. The Lit W1 more Wukong Blueprint. Meso B2 Banshee Prime Chassis. Meso B6 Baza Prime Stock. Meso P5 Panthera Prime Receiver. Meso S5 the Siberius Prime Barrel. Neo A5 Atlas Prime Neuroptics. Neo D3 Deku Prime Blueprint. And then we got the Axie A8 Axamati. I hope by now, folks, you're counting the numbers. They're all there anyhow. There's no hiding place on this one. Axie I1 is the Naros Prime Neuroptics Blueprint. Lit A4 Astila Prime Barrel. Lit B2 Ballistica Prime Blueprint. Lit N7 Nidus Prime Chassis. Nidus. New one. How did I get those? Never mind. Pangolin Prime Blueprint is the Meso P3. And then we got Meso R2 Rubica Prime again. More Radiant. Meso T1 Tiburon Prime Barrel. Why did I make those Radiant? There's something else sitting there. Not the former. Agvasta Prime Blueprint with the Axie A5. Axie V9 Radiant. Venka Prime Gauntlet. Valkyrie Prime chassis on the lit V6. We got the Mesa S5, Varus Prime barrel, Neo N5, Nikona Prime blueprint, Neo V10, Volnus Prime. That's a new one, isn't it? Yeah. Axie A9 is the Atlas Prime Neuroptics. Atlas Prime Neuroptics with some Radiant A Axie A11 there. We got the Axie L2 there, Limbo Prime Neuroptics. Axie T5 Titania Systems. Wukong blueprints, lots of Wukong blueprints. Lit B5 is the Ballistica Prime blueprint. Cernus Prime lower limb on the Lit C7, so that's Cernus again. Lit M6, Mesa Prime Systems. Necros Prime Systems on the Lit N2. And Lit P1 is the Piranha Prime blueprint. Pangolin with some Radiant Lit P5. Lit T, yeah, a Tiberian as well. Tiburon? Prime stock, you get the idea. 5 more Radiants for that one. Mesa A1, Aktagara Prime barrel. Mesa B3 Boar Prime stack. That's been bolted a long time. Mesa B5 Baza Prime. And Mesa D5 Radiant Dual Camus Prime. Wow. Nice if those ones drop. Irradiant. Mesa M2 Mirage Prime blueprint. Mesa P1 Piranha Prime blueprint. Strun Prime blueprint is the Mesa S10. And the Mesa W1 more Wukong blueprint. And the Nia B1 is Banshee Prime chassis. Nia K3 Cronin. It's a beauty if that drops. Axie A2 is the Aklex Prime. Some folks say AK Lex. And ask me why. Axie A9 Atlas Prime Neuroptics. Axie A12 is the Bolter Prime receiver. Grand Prime handle on the Axie G2. Axie L5 are some Limbo Prime chassis. Axie L5 Radiant Limbo chassis again. Axie S7 Soma Prime stack, 4 of those. And then we got the SH Radiant Skin Dub. The Skin Dub blade. Then we got the V10 Axie with some Venka Prime gauntlets. And then we got Z1, Axie Z1 with the Zatki Prime. These are all Radiants, I think. Most of them are. Lit A4, Astilla Prime barrel. Then we got the B4 with the Bolter Prime blueprint. Chroma Prime Neuroptics again on the Lit C3. Lit B2, Deathcube Prime Cerebrium. Lit K4, Kavasa Prime buckle. Not so popular, but still worth around 80 plat. Limbo Prime Neuroptics 4. That's the L1 there. And then the Lit N3 Radiant is a Necros blueprint. Oh, there's some Radiant for Necros blueprint. Nice. Ninkondar Prime handle on the Lit N4 there. Lit P1 Piranha Prime Piranha Prime what? Blueprint. And the Lit V4 Vauban. Oh, more Vauban chassis. V8 Vauban Systems. That's on the Lit V8, by the way. And the Mesa N8 Nikana Prime Hilt. And then we got some P5 Pantera that are Radiant. Some S7 for Cyberus Prime barrel. And Z1 for Zephyr Prime blueprint. So there's our chance. Zephyr has a chance. Alright, and then we work our way down to the low single figures now. So then we got Z1 Radiant. Who are you? Zephyr blueprint. Z4 Meso, the Satki Prime blueprint. Galatine Prime blueprint sitting on the G3 Neo. And the Axie A2 Radiant Aglex Prime Link. Axie A13 Axamati Prime Link. Axie A14 Axamati Prime Link. Axie M2 is the Magnus Prime barrel. Girls Prime receiver sitting on the Axie S2, that's a good one. Axie T7 the Tekka Prime blade. Axie W2 is the Wukong blueprint. Those are Radiant there. And then to work our way down to the really low single figures, we got the Lit B3 Ballistica Prime, Lit B8, who are you? Baza Prime, Chroma Prime Neuroptics on the Lit C4, Lit I1, Ivar Prime chassis. These are flawless, and some Radiant and some exceptionals in there. Pantera barrel on the Lit P3. And then we got the Lit P5 with the Pangolin Prime blueprint. Tiburon Prime stock on the T2. Vauban Prime Neuroptics on the V7. Lit rather. Lit Z2 is the Zephyr Prime Systems, and Radiant Lit Z2 again. Yep, Zephyr Prime Systems. So we got Radiant and non-Radiant there. Mesa 04 Oberon Neuroptics. Mesa S2 Sarin Prime Chassis. Those are Radiants. Lovely. Sarin Prime Chassis again on the S2. Z2 Zephyr Prime Systems. N16 Nidus Prime Neuroptics. Those are Neo. And then Neo R1 Rhino Prime Blueprint. Should try and make some of these Radiants if I can. Neo S13 Sarin Prime Chassis. And then we're in where I want to be. So this is where I want to be. 2, maximum of 2. So these ones we won't be doing anything with them because they are only 2. As you can see, they're all only 2. So like where the 2 starts. The 2 starts actually A4 right there. These are all Radiant exceptional. Hold on a minute. There's an Ember Prime Blueprint sitting on there as well. We'll see how it goes. But these ones are not down to be cracked. If I already have 2, that's where they stay. 1, that's exactly ideally where it should be. Just 1. And I do not have these ones. Alright, so there you go, folks. So with that said, there's nothing stopping you having a crack at these. See what sets you may have to go back through, make sure you double check. So you go back through, look at all the ones I've highlighted all the way down to 3. So 3 seems to be the limit at the moment. Everything on that number I will be opening. So what you need to do is to go back from top, maybe from the start of the video. Look at all the ones I've highlighted. Make a note of the number I have. So for example, Neo V12 211. I need to get rid of 209 of those to get to 2. You get the idea, right? So you will have a chance of getting a prime set out of all these relics. That's a lot of relics. You see that? That's quite a lot of relics. So let me just go through slowly so you can see the numbers. Right, starting at 211, right? Well, we got 2 with 211. And then working your way slowly down. So you can see a lot of relics. Make sure you make a note of the number, because this number should mirror, mind you, I'll run some missions and get relics as well, won't I? But you will see. We'll make a special note of those ones. Yeah, we'll definitely make a special note of those ones. So they're just tallied on to what's there already. So if the number increases, then you know that I've got a relic whilst unlocking the relic. But the idea is to make sure you pay attention, especially if you've committed to try and getting a set out of it. Alright? A lot of relics. You'll get some parts. Let it work for you. Alright, so you got 5 days from the date this video goes up. You got 5 days to make your choice, and you need to go into the Observatory and post an MPM event what you're after. Good luck with your pickings.